This is all going to go away. You look fine. I kind of want this in, but the nice thing is I'm recording right now, so I'll be able to use this. What is happening, team? We're back, round 2. Hopefully you can hear us this time, so please let us know if you can't. But again, I am here with my mother, the lovely, talented, intelligent, baker-extraordinaire, care package giving, stocking bringing. What are other things that... Pie making. We're gonna make some pies. We're making 5 pies. So very, very excited for pies. I'm a big pumpkin pie fan, so thank you to my mother. Hey, so my mom is a former health teacher, PE teacher, aerobics teacher. She was a high school counselor. She's currently working with the elementary school. A little bit. In a part-time fashion. But I wanted to interview my mom and to let you all kind of hear from her perspective as a fellow educator and, authority figure in the health and fitness space, kettlebell instructor, Zumba instructor. My mom is, woo. So, I'm trying to make her blush. That's the whole goal of this is just keep her blushing the whole time. So that she makes me more pies. Everyone, welcome Lisa Buckingham to Thursdays Tea with Tyler, and today with Mom. We have tea. Mom, what are you sipping on?
I have throat coat with a little bit of Mike's Hot Honey.
Mike's Hot Honey. Don't go for Jim's Hot Honey. Mike's Hot Honey. And then I've got ginger turmeric tea. Something's after that. But hey, if any of you do have questions for my mom, please shout out, reach out. But loud and clear. Appreciate you, Ed. You know Ed.
I know Ed.
You know Ed. Yeah. Hey, Ed.
Hi, Ed.
So when the audio wasn't working, I asked my mom, Kaylee, is very good with hosting and planning events, celebration space. Shout out. She thought it would be really cool to ask kind of some questions for my mom in regards to her experience with the health and fitness space. And so one of the questions that was asked was, what would be a massive takeaway or a big piece of advice that you could give or that you could share with us in your experience with, teaching kids, teaching adults, coaching sports. Talk at us.
Well, the first thing, like I said before when there was no audio.
But we're back.
Is sometimes it doesn't really matter what you're trying to teach them. The student is ready when the student is ready. So the best thing that you can do is just provide them with all sorts of information. I mean, it's not unlike trying to get your family to eat different foods, whether it's experimenting with vegetables or different things. You just keep letting them know that this is available, and eventually they're going to try it. And you don't know. I mean, lifting isn't for everyone. Running isn't for everyone. Some people just like different things. And as long as you can introduce them to something, you just never know when it's going to click, even if that's with talking about things that might be good for them. So, in fitness isn't just about physical fitness. It's about your mental fitness. It's about your relationship with other people, with food, with family. A lot of things.
That's basic.
A lot of things.
Yeah. So. Love it. Yeah, and definitely when looking at, I know from my own experience with coaching and things like that, you can I can tell somebody how to lose weight or how to do the push-ups or this, that, I mean, 30 for 30 group.
Yep.
You know, we went through, we had 97 workouts together, I think, in the 4-month span that we did it. Or what was it, 5 months? March to August. Straight. Oh no, it was beginning of August. I stopped in August. That's right. That's right. But essentially, you know, the whole time, like I can tell people what to do, but they still have to do it. You can tell people, like, this saint, she would try and get us to eat vegetables and home cooked meals. And Todd, if you're listening, calling us both out. Cereal was a go-to. Dad, I'm so sorry. I would leave Austin peanut butter crackers.
Just
the wrapper, not the crackers. I would destroy the crackers, but I would leave the wrappers kind of everywhere throughout our house. Todd was a big spaghetti and butter.
Just special sauce.
Special sauce
from the ramen packets.
You know, and so, like, I don't know that. I think the first summer of college, I came home and I was like trying to eat more like other varieties, and you're like, who are you? Who are you? What have you done with my son? And so, yeah, like, and now, of course, I am taking a lot of the tools that you laid as my foundation. I didn't know it was my foundation.
You just never know when it's going to stick.
Yes.
So you lay the foundation. It's not like building a house, because that's phenomenal. You can see the progress that you've made, and you can see you've got to lay the foundation. You've got to do that before you can. You know, you can't start with the roof. So
no, you can't.
You just can't.
That's a really good point.
I think Jake, if you're watching, this, you know, I'm gonna
Simon Renovations.
Fact check me on that.
Yeah. No, that's a really good point.
Yeah. So you just need to keep introducing it, and be consistent. That's the biggest thing. Mm-hmm. It's not I'm going to try this diet and you do it for one day and it doesn't work. It's the consistency. It's consistency. So
because at the end of the day, it becomes your lifestyle, and that's where, like,
I didn't like that diet word.
Yeah,
it is, because it's a lifestyle. It's a choice.
Like you have the choice of what you eat. Like 3-day diets, there's a reason there are 3 days, because you should be done doing it after 3 days and never do it again. The problem that I've experienced is, you know, with dieting, people think that it's, I have to restrict myself from this, rather than, no, I get to add this. Actually, I'd love for you to share your experience. She and my dad just did a 30-day,
no potato chips and no ice cream. And it wasn't even hard. But the other thing that I did was, I know in my diet I lack grains. In my lifestyle, I lack grains. And so I incorporated more grains.
Hi, Aubrey. Sorry, Aubrey. Peddlety.
Oh, hi, Aubrey.
Former Aubrey Peddlety. What's up?
I incorporated more grains, and we just didn't have chips and ice cream. And honestly, it wasn't a big deal.
Yeah. And that was a choice that you made for yourself.
Yeah.
No one else made it for you. It's just like, hey, I'm going to do this.
Well, I did make it for your dad. So
sometimes you need an accountability partner, though,
right?
And that's where a coach comes in, or a teacher comes in, or
a spouse,
or
we're just not having chips in the house,
or you just stop buying things, and you're like, where'd the chips go? And so, and one of the things that I love that Mom did was, hey, rather than just taking things out, I also want to add something in. Cousin Katie, hi, Cousin Katie. And so, so with dieting and weight loss, it also should be focusing on what's the health that I can gain from this. Because there are people in certain brackets that, losing a bit of weight would enhance their health. But, if you are really trying to enhance your life, I mean, it should be about the health gain. Not everybody needs to lose weight. I don't. You don't. There are many people who don't need to lose weight.
But I want to, because it's about the number for me. So it's just really.
And then there's that,
but that's more of a mental issue, and that would be the other thing.
Yep.
You know, when you talk about lifestyle,
mm-hmm.
I didn't just take away the chips and the ice cream. I added in the positive affirmations and, talked about different things and just the fact that you can talk about different things, whether it's a meaningful apology
mm-hmm.
or if it's a meaningful conversation where you look at somebody with your whole face. And you don't just be texting and talking.
What were you saying?
Absolutely.
What were you saying?
So
making a point. No, I love that.
Yeah,
I love that
because it really is. It's more about it. I'm sorry. It's not just about a diet. All of it's a lifestyle choice. You get to choose if you're going to be angry by waiting in traffic. You get and have somebody cut you off. It's a choice. I just figure that they need to be someplace quicker than I do, and for me to save 15 seconds, it's not a big deal. And I really try to incorporate that, and you have to model that, whether it's for kids, coworkers, partners. There's a lot of good people out there, and those are the people that you need to focus on. But then you need to tell them. So you can be a noticer, but then you need to tell them, hey, I noticed that you did this, or tell me about how that worked.
Mm-hmm. Well, and one of the things that I'm very thankful for, so prior to my relationship with Kaylee, like I didn't clean the way that we do now, but I also have okay, all right. No peanut gallery over here. And Kaylee's laughing from the other room now. But now I have a greater and much deeper appreciation for something that I was not aware of prior to, having that outside experience, having that external influence on like what could be. So like,
well, you don't always listen to your parents because they're just your parents, and what do they know?
What'd you say?
Exactly.
Did she just talk? So with external influences though, like, mom always had like, hey, if you want some veggies, they're right here for you. And I would be like, pass. Where's that cereal though? But then it became like, hey mom, can I have some more veggies? Hey, can I have this? And then also now in our home life, now it's like, okay, hey, I actually really like when it is clean. It's something that was an external influence that has now changed my internal belief of how to live in the space that you're in, because your environment really does impact you. And whether that's incorporating a lifestyle of, a more cleanly household or a lifestyle of movement and mobility and fitness. No, not everybody has to lift weights. I think that's something you said. Not everybody has to lift weights. Not everybody wants to. Not everybody has to diet. Not everybody wants to. But at the end of the day, you have to create a sustainable lifestyle for you and your goals. You have to do what works for you. And like you were saying, we can give the tools. Yep. And it's funny, we were talking about the a la carte. Mm-hmm. Like you're gonna get all these external influences, all these things, and it's like, you know what? I'm gonna take a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I'm gonna take my internal beliefs and how I feel that this should move forward, and that's you. You have the option to do that however you please. And so thank you so much for showing me such a great foundation and instilling so many great things in me. So thank you, Mom. Thank you. But also she gave me a lot of stubbornness, impatientitis, vertical challengedness.
Hey, you're the tallest one in the family.
I know. That's so sad.
He is the tallest one in the family. All the cousins.
5'9".
Yeah.
On a good day. One. In heels.
Yeah. What is
Gosh.
that?
Oh, Lyman. What up? Love hearing this talk. Oh, thanks, buddy.
Somebody ask us a question.
Yeah, does anybody have any questions? Does anybody...
I'll answer more questions.
Did I drive her wild as a child? Yes, I did. I did not mean for that to rhyme. No one asked.
Nobody asked.
Nobody asked it. I just acting.
Not too wild.
Anyhow.
Tyler was pretty compliant. Except when he wasn't. We were actually having a conversation earlier about dogs versus cats, and dogs need a pack leader, an alpha. What's my favorite way to work out? Honestly, I like to start my day walking my dog. And my husband will tell you that I am very intentional, and he doesn't know how I do it, but I get up anywhere between 5 and 6, sometimes 4, and I walk the dog. I tell you, when I don't walk the dog, I feel off, because I haven't been able to, gather my thoughts. And I mean, it's so peaceful and so quiet, and that's why I like to go early in the morning. It's peaceful, it's quiet. I don't have music. It's just myself and the dog. We count how many bunnies we see, or how many deer, or if there's stray cats. And sometimes there's nothing, and sometimes it's just the quiet. I hear my shoes or the leaves falling. And actually my favorite, maybe it's not my favorite, but I always used to tell the kids that I love to watch them play. So whatever they're doing, that's what I want to, and I'm not necessarily exercising, but I'm watching them, because I just love to be there supporting. My husband is a national bag carrying champion, and I'm the professional clapper and cheerer
and whistler.
Yeah.
Gotta
you can hear me from the end of the block, and
we've been to professional baseball games, and she will whistle, and it's like, that's Mom, and she'll be across the stadium. Yeah. It's unbelievable.
And it was really fun when they were little, because their friends would say, "Hey Tyler, your mom's calling you," so they'd figure it out too.
Yeah.
So thanks, that was a great question.
I've heard that whistle. Very impressive.
Very impressive.
Yes.
Not gonna share.
Yeah, it will probably pierce many ears and probably blow out the microphone. So maybe we don't do that.
I won't do that.
But so anything else that you can share from your time, whether it was PE, or we talked a little bit about the tools that you can provide, and it's up to the student whether or not they take it and run with it. But is there anything else that you have found to be very effective with, whether it's creating an environment for influence to happen, like with the food? Do you feel that there's anything else that also comes to mind with, and maybe it's from like coaching us through soccer or Little League? Is there anything else that comes to mind on ways in which to just continue cultivating that environment?
You always want to be positive. With Little League especially, I would gather the kids up after the games and always talk about the good things that happened. With students grading papers, I always put how many they got correct. Because, people always point out things that are wrong or bad or negative, and I'm not perfect. I don't always do a good job. It's you do the best you can with what you have at any given moment. So I think that's really important. Again, like the road rage, it's a choice. I can choose to be really upset and flip them off or beat my horn or whatever, but it does not change anything. Yep. So somebody just what is...
Yeah. Ed, what is some advice you've given to your students about improving their health?
Health is just such a big umbrella. Mental health, emotional health, social health, physical health. It is. It's an umbrella. It's a bike spoke. I mean, pick whatever analogy you want to pick. And, if one of those, I used to do a 3-legged stool, but there are so many more spokes to that. But, you can't stand alone. Maybe a little bit and for a little while, but if they're all different, and they're always going to be. Some days your physical health is going to be different than your mental health and so on. Just keep trying. Reach out. That's the big thing. One of the things that I try to do now is to reach out to people that mean something to me. And whether I send them a note or a text that I'm thinking of you, or I'll send random cards. I have stacks of Christmas and birthday, and it's not their birthday, it's not Christmas. I'll send a get well, and I'll change all the word, cross it all out. And I said, well, this was the only card I had, but I just wanted you to know I was thinking of you. Helping others, and the research shows that when you help others, you help yourself. But it's always nice to have somebody to talk with. Another thing too is that somebody, we like to be such a fix-it society. And you know what? Sometimes I just want to vent. I don't want anybody to fix it. I just want to vent. I want to wallow in it. I want to have, my moment. And you can wallow with me, but don't try to fix it. As soon as you try to fix it, you have taken away my ability to fix it myself. And I think counselors, psychiatrists will, they ask you questions to get you to come up with your own answer. They don't give you the answers. Somebody gives you the answers or tells you what to do. It's easy to take that advice because then you can turn around and blame them when it doesn't go well.
But you told me.
Right.
Yep.
So. Yeah,
and if I may piggyback
did that answer your question there, Ed?
Yeah, Ed. So Ed works with students.
Oh,
so
nice.
Yeah. So that would be a really good one. Colin, this was great. Nice little blast from the past. Hope you guys stay healthy and happy. Bye, Aubrey. So good to have you here. Well, and one of the things that, like, to add on to that question as well, and Ed, let us know if that answered it for you. One of the things that I always try to do is just simply lead by example, because if that one of the best football players that I ever played with was Zach Doherty, because he just led by example. He didn't talk. He didn't try and chime in. He wasn't the loud vocal leader, but day in and day out, he just did the work, and it was like that was the example that was a precedent. Like, that was just exemplified. And so, when I'll have clients, well, I can't work out today. Okay, well, hey, what if you just moved your body every hour? Every hour do 10 squats. By the end of the day, you've done over 100 squats. No, you didn't do your hour-long workout, but you don't have to work out for an hour. You can just have some movement. So for you, Ed, if you just did some squats and just started moving your body, that physical movement, release some energy, get the body moving, get the blood flowing. That could be a way to also aid in, I'm assuming recess is still a thing, but in the days of COVID, I don't know.
It's tough.
Who's to say what's happening, but also 10 squats or 8 or 5 or however many you can do isn't going to wear you out and deplete you so much that, you're sucking back, for trying to get oxygen back into your body. You're just going to be able to do a little bit and then move on with your day.
The other thing I just thought of is that to give them choices. And I like to go from what's the best possible outcome to what's the worst thing that can happen. If you don't move your body today, what's the worst thing that can happen? And I say things like, maybe you'll be constipated. Maybe you'll...
We don't like that.
Maybe you'll be stiff and sore. Maybe, and I give them all of these worst things.
Very nice.
But then I'll tell them and try to pull from them some of the good things. Well, what else might happen? Because they quite often, students will believe in absolutes. Are you absolutely going to be constipated? No. Are you absolutely going to be stiff and sore? No. Sometimes you need that total break of doing nothing or watching TV or
playing video games.
Something that is just mindless.
Yep. Very much.
So.
We do have a question.
Yes.
From the other room.
Answered.
What was your favorite topic to teach in health? I feel like my health class was very STD focused. Yeah.
Well, I started out at the middle school, so that was 6th through 8th grade. And probably by far the best years because those kids want to know everything. So I don't know that it really matters. Once I got to teaching high school, and I had 9th through 12th graders, I don't know if there was a best. Certainly when you talk about reproductive health, they all want to know answers and think they have, funny questions. Right. And, but I don't know. I mean, we talked about suicide. We went to the local, this was at the middle school, and we went to the local funeral home and got to, view what a casket looks like and the embalming room.
For health?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, gosh, I don't know that I have a favorite. I think it's a favorite when the kids engage.
I was going to say, it probably becomes a lot easier to teach something when people really want to learn about it.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Any last questions? We're closing in on the 30-minute mark, and I want to make sure we can send her off properly before we go
to the kitchen to start making pies. That's what I'm doing.
And then I'll be eating. Woo! That is so interesting. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Kaylee.
And if you have any other questions, I love talking teacher and student stuff. So
yeah. So and if you guys are like, hey, this is the Buckingham fitness community, so can we get some of that Lisa Buckingham insight in? Just let me know. I can just tag her. Just go. She's a mom. You can call her.
Yeah.
Hey, if there's nothing else, please, if you do have questions, maybe later on, if you're watching this, let us know and we can get back to you when we can. But Mom, thank you so much.
Sure.
I am very, very blessed to have learned and been raised by such an amazing woman,
He is.
Yep. That's 100%. So, no, thank you so much. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful to continue to learn from you. And yeah, thanks for being on the show. The one last is yours gone?
It's gone.
Oh, it's gone. Both are gone.
Oh, it's good.
So one last little
sip.
And that's the show. Team, I won't be back next week. I'm going to try and figure out a time to be back next week. But we're going down, Kaylee and I are going down to Amelia Island to spend time with her folks. So, beach. But yeah, we'll figure out when the next one is. And love you all. Love you, Mom. Love you, Kaylee. And we will see you all next time. Stay tuned for more stuff in the group. Spread the love. We'll see you all later. Bye. Good job, Mom. That was great. You were awesome.
Look at Kaylee throwing out questions.
Kaylee's just dominating the question game.